Throughout her campaign and transition period, President-elect Park Geun-hye pledged to make welfare programs for the people her top priority.
Last Tuesday, the Korean government passed this year's budget with about 1/3 of the funds allocated to welfare benefits. Myung-kil joins us now to walk us through. Good evening.
Good evening. Last week, the government approved this year's $322 billion budget. Of that, $94 billion was outlaid to fund welfare programs, which is 1/3 of the total budget. And some of Park Geun-hye's welfare pledges were funded, such as pushing forward with free childcare across the board and increasing college tuition support.
So what stands out in the array of benefits?
So the three most noticeable welfare benefits are free childcare service and the college tuition fees and increase in soldier salaries. Parents can choose to receive money for sending their children to daycare centers or get cash benefits for raising their children at home. Couples with a newborn will be able to receive up to $370 a month in childcare expenditures or opt for $188 in child rearing expenses. Regardless of how many children there are in a family, parents will receive support for each child. Next, college tuition fees will be gradually funded over the next 3 years. Students in the bottom 20% income bracket will be eligible to receive more than $4,000 per semester, and students from the bottom 40 to 70% range will see their tuition burdens halved. And some good news for young Korean men fulfilling their military service. Their salaries will increase by 20% starting this year for all ranks. Sergeants will receive $122 a month, up from $101, and privates will receive $92, up from $77.
Right, Myung-kil, so we have some benefits based on income, but childcare, it's provided to all?
Yes, for example, the childcare service, which is provided to newborns up till the 5-year-olds, will be available to anyone regardless of their income level. But experts say in order to be more effective, the policy needs to be designed better.
Within the universal policy scheme, I think there is still room to think about whether you want to put a more policy incentives for those families where both parents are working, because they will be the ones who need more support for their childcare need. Clearly, from a policy perspective, you want to have more children from the low-income families to go to childcare centers.
And starting in March, Korean parents who send their children age 5 and under to daycare centers will be able to pay their expenses with special cards, which are being provided by the government.
And what about health care and pensions for the elderly?
Well, President-elect Park Geun-hye has promised 100% national health insurance coverage for severe diseases starting in 2016. Parliament is also pushing to increase pensions for the elderly over the age of 65, starting with people whose incomes are in the bottom 70%.
You need more than $7 billion to fund pensions for senior citizens over the age of 65. And within 20 to 30 years, this could put a huge burden on taxpayers.
We've heard from the Park camp that she will try to expand this welfare without raising taxes. Will this creative measure succeed?
Well, experts say welfare is not free and somebody has to pay for it. And the society will need to have some kind of consensus of how much resource will be spent on certain welfare programs. Kim Jae-jin at the Korea Institute for Public Finance says there are many ways to increase taxes. He says you could revive the underground economy and collect more taxes. The government could also reduce tax cuts on non-taxable objects, which will be worth more than $28 billion, and could collect taxes on overdue payments, which would also add up to more than $28 billion. Another option is to raise income and corporate taxes, which the current Lee Myung-bak administration cut.
As Korea's society ages fast, with low birth rates, the government needs to find stable sources in tax revenues, as the number of taxpayers or working people will likely decrease in the future.
All right, well, it seems as if there are some ideas out there to really improve people's lives and to find ways to fund them. Thanks so much.
Sure.